Hello, welcome to Aviemore. This is the Activate Doors podcast. I'm John Davidson. I'm about to set off on quite a long run, about 19.5 miles officially, going from Aviemore down to Newtonmore on the Speyside Way extension. It's a cold morning. It was just below freezing when I left Inverness. I've just got off the train in Aviemore. There's snow on the ground. It's a good few degrees cooler. The Cairngorms were looking spectacular on the way down, just covered in white, cloud just hovering above the summits. So it's going to be cold, but once I get going, get warmed up and it should be good. Now, Speyside Way is an 85-mile long-distance route that runs from Buckie to Newtonmore now. It used to end here in Aviemore, and they've just added this extension through to Newtonmore after a good few years of wrangling over the route and a few land issues. So this is the first time I've really done the whole of this last stretch in full, certainly. So the first part of the route just heads along through the village and apparently follows a cycle trail once I get out of here and then into the woods, so hopefully it'll be straightforward. Got the map on my phone, and there's lots of bits that I know anyway from doing little stretches and paths where they overlap existing paths and things, so should be a good day. You can hear the traffic there. It's still early morning, just after 8:30. I've got about 4.5 hours until my train leaves Newtonmore to go back to Inverness, so should be a nice gentle pace as long as my legs can keep going for that long. So I'll sign off for now and catch up in a few miles. Okay, join me again just near Speyside. I've done, let's have a look, just over 5 miles, nearly 5.5 miles. So over a quarter of the way through the route. It's been a beautiful morning. It started off with a nice pink glow from the sunrise coming over the Cairngorms. And I've been treading through virgin white snow on the path. A few more footprints around here. But still a nice morning. There's no wind. There's still snow on the ground. It's very cool, especially now I've slowed down to a walk just to record this little section. But just about right temperature wise where I'm going. The sun's kind of poking up. There's blue sky over to the right. Still a little bit of cloud over to my left and straight ahead. But you can see the hills coated in snow. It's just looking like a beautiful winter day to be, well, either down here or up on the top, so just out and about generally. The route's really well signed so far. It's obviously a new bit of track's been put in from just outside Aviemore. You cross the B road and it basically follows the route of the railway line, but kind of wiggling in and out and between fields and through woodland. Just a nice bit of birchwood here. Climbing up, the railway's kind of out of sight at the minute, but you see it every so often. I've just come through a little village of, or hamlet I suppose you'd call it, of Speyside, and the path's just kind of winding through the wood towards Kincraig now. And after that I'll need to stop and have a check of the book and see where it goes next. Ultimately heading out towards Rutherford Barracks and Kingusi, but I'm not sure exactly the route in between here and there, so I'll have a check and keep going. But yeah, beautiful day to be out, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, we're still heading along the Speyside Way. Just past a sign there for 6.25 miles to Kingusi. So we're past halfway certainly. I've just gone past the Lochans. Spectacular setting. If you've never been there, it's worth a visit. Some lovely walks around all the Lochans. They're actually kettle hole Lochans created from retreating glacier. So blocks of ice kind of gouged out huge holes and were kind of cut off from the main glacier as it melted, and those huge chunks of ice melted and formed these Lochans, and the setting here is spectacular in amongst the pine woods. The Cairngorms as a backdrop. Some great walks, good bit of mountain biking trails through the woods as well. At the minute I'm just running down a long, wide forestry track covered in, I don't know, maybe an inch of snow. That's a really soft, padded run. You can probably hear a bit shaking about in my bag as I'm going. But yeah, feeling a bit tired now. I think all runs over 10 miles are start to become a bit of an effort. But I've been taking my time. We're still on target pace-wise. In time to get the train home, which is the important thing. And ideally get to Newtonmore in time to get a coffee before I have to get on that train. So since I was last on, we headed into Kincraig through the forest, and then you cross the River Spey, where it kind of widens out into a loch at Loch Inch, where the outdoor centre is. There's a new bit of path there. You follow the Badenoch Way, kind of around the church and past the Inverfeshie estate track, and then there's a new stretch of Speyside Way that I'd not been on before. A nice path kind of winds up behind the road, so you don't have to walk up that road past the outdoor centre. And yeah, that kind of goes basically all the way to the Lochans car park, and then you follow some of the trails around there. It's all well signed, and you're on the kind of widest, best made bit of the path through there as well. And like I said, now we're just heading downhill, thankfully, because there was a bit of a climb in the woods there. Heading downhill on this really wide vehicle track. There's one set of footprints going up the hill, and there's a bike track, two bike tracks, sorry, on either side of me here. Other than that, no sign of anybody else being here today. Seen one or two people about, but not too many. And yeah, love the route and some lovely new stretches of the Speyside Way. So my watch has just ticked over 11 miles while I've been speaking, so should be about 8 or 9 to go. I'll just take it easy and I'll give an update in another 4 or 5 miles. Should be somewhere around Ruthven Barracks, maybe just before that. I'll see how we're getting on, and then it'll be the final stretch after that. Oh, made it to Ruthven, to the barracks, just over 16 miles. According to the sign, there's 1 mile into Kinghusey on the Speyside Way. It just joins the road for a little bit after here. But just overlooking the barracks. There's going to be a couple of vehicles coming through here, so a bit of noise. Just the path comes down and meets the road. It's all been on path up to here. And there's the noise of a few cars go by. Just looking at the ruins of the barracks, the kind of snow-covered hills behind. It's a spectacular setting, but you can see the A9, the kind of modern side of the world. And then this old barracks that used to house the kind of government forces to quash the Jacobites back in the 18th century. There's a network of military roads connecting likes of this to Fort George and all sorts of places, and they make great routes now to follow. Just also here is the start of the Minigig Pass, which I did a few years ago. I can just see the kind of route up into the glen and over the hills, but that one's not signed from the original route. You can get there over the Trimy Bridge and go up the glen, because I think the footbridge is still down as far as I know. I had to wade the river in, I think it was about 2017 when I did that, so I don't think they've replaced the bridge, but I'd have to check that. Now here I've done 16.3 miles here. I reckon there must be 3.5, 4 to go. Mile into Kinghusey, and then 2.5 maybe just up to Newtonmore, where it just follows a cycle path. So It's been a nice route through here to this point, through the forest from where I last spoke, and then met a couple of guys, 3 guys in fact, doing improvement works on the Speyside Way on quite a flooded section, very muddy, but they were putting new material now and putting a decent surface on, so still improvement works going on even though it's covered in snow and it's December, so gradually improving, and it's great to see paths around here where you used to have to kind of walk on the minor roads and stuff. There is a little stretch here I'm going to have to go on the road, I think, by the looks of it, but I think once I get round the corner and over the bridge, I think there is another path towards the village, so I'll find out shortly. Yeah, and hopefully I'll next time I speak I'll be at the end. Well, I made it to Newtonmore, just at the train station now. 20 miles on the dot, pretty much, to the little artwork that signals the terminus of the Speyside Way. It was hard work the last few miles along the path, like a shared use cycle path that goes along between Kingussie and Newtonmore, and you can kind of see quite a long way along, so it was mentally and physically hard by that stage, but managed to just kind of keep shuffling along. Made it into Newtonmore, found the end point, and then found a coffee shop. That's the most important thing, so just filled up with a mocha, and I'm gonna get on the train, sit and eat my sandwich, and hope I don't get too much cramp on the way back. But I'm really impressed with the kind of new bits of the Speyside Way. They've added new bits of path where they really needed some. Still maybe 1 or 2 sections where it could be improved or added to, but there is obviously work ongoing, as I saw today. So really nice bit of route, stunning views even from here, the train station at Newtonmore, looking over to the Cairngorms. It's just a fabulous place to be, and yeah, I've really enjoyed it, apart from the pain in my legs just now. 20-mile run is testing at the best of times, but it's been a long time since I've done a run of that sort of length, and that comes on the back of what did we do yesterday, 12 miles or so. So it's a good test, building up for next year when hopefully will be lots more events back on. I'm looking forward to Highland Cross coming back and Loch Ness 360, which is a new event, so I'll be doing 3 marathons in 3 days, so doing a couple of long runs in a row is a good test for that. It's nice to keep going in the winter through the snow. It's just it's great to get out when you've got the chance, and yeah, this is how I tend to spend a lot of my holidays. Going out for days, running, biking, whatever I can do. Keeping active outdoors routes going through the winter, especially when it's more difficult to do short routes. So I hope you're all enjoying them and enjoying the podcast, and yeah, I'll sign off as the train's going to come in a couple of minutes. Keep listening to the podcast, subscribe on your favourite platform, and keep reading the features in the papers every week. We'll keep them going right through Christmas into New Year. It'll be our 15th year, is it 14th or 15th year? Started them in 2008, so it's been going a long time now. You can of course read Active Outdoors on the app and on the website at hnmedia.co.uk/Active Outdoors. We'll see you next time.